probably one of the most dangerous and misinformed food trends I've seen in a while. Hey everyone, I'm Abbey Sharp. Welcome to Abby's Kitchen. Today you'll be talking about the internet's seemingly new obsession with raw milk. What started out as a few dairy farmers innocently sharing the fruits of their labor has become a full-blown social media epidemic, with tons of health-focused influencers and self-proclaimed crunchy moms spreading misinformation about safe pasteurized dairy.
We drink our milk raw, but I'm going to show you how we strain it.
The reason that we love buying dairy from the Amish is that they don't pasteurize their dairy.
I'm a crunchy pregnant mama. Of course I'm drinking raw milk and eating sushi even though they tell me not to.
This is why you should be drinking raw milk.
Let's talk about my raw milk consumption.
I don't know why I'm always surprised by these trends, but yeah, I do find myself scratching my head at this one. There are very few foods that America has full out made completely illegal in 20 states, but here we are, raw milk has made that exclusive list. And I'm sure a lot of you have consumed or even consume raw milk on occasion, and you're thinking like, what the hell's the big deal? I'm totally fine. And yeah, most people will be fine. But that's not how public health recommendations are made. See, raw milk is a known vessel for deadly bacteria like E. coli, Salmonella, Staph aureus, Campylobacter, Listeria, Burnetii, and even tuberculosis, just to literally name a few. Raw milk and raw milk products are 150 times more likely than their pasteurized counterparts to sicken those who consume them. In one CDC study, they looked at all dairy-related outbreaks between 1993 and 2006, and they found 121 dairy-related illness outbreaks, resulting in 4,413 illnesses, 239 hospitalizations, and 3 deaths. And while raw milk products account for only 1% of dairy production in the United States, raw milk dairies were linked to 60% of those dairy-related outbreaks and 85% of all dairy hospitalizations. Now, a lot of the crunchy and/or natural health community online will swear that raw milk is infinitely healthier than pasteurized. And in some cases, this trend has ended up in bed with the general anti-authority, anti-conventional healthcare movement that encourages distrust in some of the most basic public health initiatives of our generation. Things like pasteurizing milk. And the message tends to be very cryptic, always vague. A simple do your own research is the mantra of a lot of misinformed grifters. But here's the problem. This is the research we're directed to do. Biased websites like rawmilkinstitute.org who compile their facts from first-hand accounts and surveys. Anecdotes are not great science. And it's dangerous to recommend that people do their own research by reading anti-science Reddit threads, blogs, or watching creators with no healthcare credentials on TikTok. And I guess that's why you got me.
Boy, you got a friend in me.
So grab a cold glass of whatever milk you like, pasteurized, dairy-free, whatever, and let's dive in. Okay, let me hop in here super quick to tell you about my new obsession and sponsor for today's video, Foreo. So I was super excited when Foreo reached out to me because as an admittedly skin health obsessed 37-year-old who has to stare at herself online every single day in a sea of 18-year-olds, I had already been using and loving their Foreo Bear, and I was really excited when they sent me their new UFO 3 by Foreo Sweden. So this is a deep facial hydration device that's been clinically shown to help deeply hydrate skin by up to 126%, reduce the look of wrinkles, which I'm hoping will save me in Botox, and help depuff and cool with the LED light and massage. Basically how it works is you choose your mask based on your goals and you log on to their app, which is synchronized to your device, to help you customize your skincare routine. They've got different options like the warming thermos therapy, cooling cryotherapy, refining LED therapy, therapy, and the T-Sonic massage for a healthy glow. The cooling cryo is definitely key for me before a shoot, especially if your girl had like a glass of wine the night before. But I'm already obsessed and have definitely noticed my skin looking brighter and cleaner after a session, and I love that I can like pull off a mini facial routine in 2 minutes while I'm on a video off Zoom call or watching TV with my kids. Foreo products are rarely discounted, but right now they're giving my audience 30% from the link below, plus an additional 10% for the first 50 people who use my coupon code ABBY10. This is an amazing time to order because this is seriously an insanely good deal. Claim number 1, raw milk is filled with good bacteria, so it is infinitely better for your gut.
It's filled with vitamins, nutrients, and good bacteria because when it's not pasteurized, it's not blasted. I don't understand like drinking milk from the store because it's been pasteurized, like everything in it is dead.
First of all, everything is not dead, which we will uncover shortly. But second of all, maybe it's kind of a good thing that we kill some of the things. Let's talk about bacteria. So bacteria found in raw milk are almost exclusively not probiotics. In other words, they're not the good kind of bacteria that you want in your gut. One study found a small amount of probiotic activity in raw milk, but you would need around 10,000 times what is found in raw milk to see any gut health benefits. Most of the bacteria that is present in milk comes from infected udder tissues, aka mastitis, which I know a lot about because I had it 5 times, plus contamination with soil, water, and cow manure, and contaminated milking equipment. A lot of the raw milk advocates will claim that raw milk contains bifidobacterium, which is in fact a beneficial probiotic. But since bifido is found in a cow's GI tract, not in their milk, it comes out in their fecal matter. So the presence of bifidobacteria in raw milk actually indicates fecal contamination and an enhanced risk of all sorts of other pathogenic bacteria. So if you're looking for good bacteria, it is a hell of a lot safer to consume probiotic-enriched pasteurized dairy like yogurt or kefir, or to take a probiotic supplement. Moving on to claim 2. If you're lactose intolerant, you can still digest raw dairy. So you can gather this little nugget of misinformation straight off of the rawmilkinstitute.org website, but it's also all over the dark web.
If you are like, I hate milk, or you're like, I'm lactose intolerant, that is because you've been drinking pasteurized milk.
Yeah, this is why beauty creators should stick to makeup tutorials and leave the food science and nutrition to us. But anyway, folks, if you are lactose intolerant and milk gives you the runs, good luck with the raw milk trend. See, lactose is found in all bovine cow's milk, both raw and pasteurized, in a concentration of about 4.8%. Now, raw milk enthusiasts will often claim that it's easier to digest raw milk because allegedly it contains beneficial probiotic bacteria that secrete lactase to help you break down the lactose. But as we've already uncovered, that is not evidence-based. As for the idea that raw milk contains indigenous lactase, which is the enzyme that helps you break down the lactose, that is also not substantiated in the literature. The only mention that I see of this fact is from, surprise, surprise, the raw milk websites. When we look at a large meta-analysis comparing raw milk with pasteurized milk, only one study reported on lactose intolerance, and they found no difference in symptom relief. In another more recent small cross-sectional study, they found that folks who were lactose intolerant experienced just as many digestive symptoms when consuming raw milk compared to pasteurized milk. And this makes complete sense because there's lactose in all milk.
Well, duh.
Our lactase capacity comes from our body. The reason why yogurt, for example, is generally easier to digest than a glass of milk is because the added bacteria that is necessary in the yogurt making process yields the enzyme lactase. So bottom line, if you are lactose intolerant, raw milk is not going to help, nor is it beneficial for your gut. If anything, getting a bad case of salmonella is probably going to do a real number on your digestion and wipe out the beneficial microbiome colonies that you do have. So yeah, I would take a pass on that. Claim 3, raw milk is easier to digest because it contains natural digestive enzymes for protein and fat. Here we go again. All right, So to recap on digestive enzymes, lactase helps to break down the milk sugar lactose, and as we've just established, there's no evidence that it exists naturally in raw milk products. We do, however, know that all milk naturally contains proteases, aka the digestive enzymes that break down protein. So plasmin is one of the main proteases found in milk, and it happens to be heat stable, so we find it in pasteurized milk too. But even if it was killed off when we heat it, it would actually make no difference to our digestion of the milk protein, since any indigenous proteases from milk end up getting denatured in our gut. The proteins in dairy like whey and casein get digested by our own human proteases when you drink milk. As for lipase, which is the fat digestive enzyme, the main lipase enzyme in cow's milk is lipoprotein lipase, or LPL. And while LPL does get inactivated through pasteurization, it again wouldn't really matter, as it doesn't actually play a role in our human dairy digestion. We have our own gastric lipase and pancreatic lipase, which is what helps us digest the fats in milk. It's actually a good thing to inactivate the cow's indigenous lipoprotein lipase, because it's that enzyme that can cause milk to get super rancid and gross really fast. So basically what I'm saying is that the enzyme action in milk, whether pasteurized or raw, doesn't really matter that much, since it's our human enzymes, whether indigenous or supplemental, that help do the job. Claim number 4, raw milk cures or prevents milk allergies and asthma. So this milk has emerged from the Parsifal study, which has been misquoted and misused by raw advocates to confirm their beliefs. But basically, the Parsifal study found an inverse association with farm milk consumption, not raw milk consumption, and asthma and allergy symptoms. Even the authors make it clear that their study does not allow for the evaluation of the effects of pasteurized versus raw milk, because no objective confirmation of the raw milk status from farm milk was available. In reality, about half of the farm milk used in the study had been boiled. And the findings from this are really not that surprising, considering that living on a farm in general is associated with lower rates of allergy and asthma, basically by creating early life opportunities for allergen exposure. I mean, who would have thought that fresh air and exposure to nature would be good for you?
Who would have thought? Not me.
As for milk allergies specifically, research has shown that raw milk and pasteurized milk do not differ in their anaphylactic sensitizing capacity. So pasteurization does not change the allergenicity of milk protein. So if you're allergic to store-bought milk, I would absolutely be avoiding the raw stuff too. Claim number 5 is that pasteurized milk is stripped of all of its beneficial nutrients.
Why raw milk, might you ask? Well, here's a chart right here comparing raw milk and pasteurized milk and the nutritional benefits and differences between them.
Ah, lovely! A chart completely manufactured without any evidence from raw milk advocates. So this is one of the major messages from the pro-raw community, that the key nutrients in raw dairy gets boiled away when it's pasteurized. And thankfully, actual scientists from here in Canada published a whole systematic review and meta-analysis of 40 studies to get to the answer. The results found that milk pasteurization did decrease its concentration of vitamin B1, B2, B12, C, and folate. But even after pasteurization, milk is still a source of B1, an excellent source of B12, and an excellent source of B2. The vitamin C and folate in raw milk isn't anything to write home about anyway, so the loss here isn't exactly a tragedy. Otherwise, they're basically the same. Same fat, same carbs, same protein content, same protein bioavailability, and both a source of 15 essential nutrients. It's just that one will potentially make pants for days. I don't know, a tiny bit of vitamin C, foodborne illness, I mean, everybody has to make that risk-benefit analysis for themselves. But finally, the most dangerous assertion of all, that you should be drinking raw milk while pregnant and giving it to your kids.
And as a pregnant woman and a controversial crunchy mom, let's talk about my raw milk consumption.
A veterinarian in the Middle East had given it, in Israel, had given it to a child with autism and they got better. So I'm like, I was on the right track.
Wow, okay, quick fire misinformation busting here. Vets are not dietitians or pediatricians. No food can cure or cause autism. And most importantly, do not give a known common source for foodborne illness to babies and children, whether in utero or out in the real world. Hard stop. Half of illnesses linked to raw milk are in children. And there have been, sadly, a number of cases where kids have gotten so sick that they have died. Everything we give our kids, whether it's food, supplements, medication, etc., comes down to a risk-benefit analysis. And there is zero question in my professional mind that the risks here far outweigh the benefits, especially for kids. This is not fear-mongering, this is just scientific facts. And if you want to take that risk for yourself because you love your farmer, or you love your own cow, or you love raw milk, then you do you, right? I mean, we all take calculated risks every single day for our health, whether it's eating raw sushi or bagged salad. But I really do urge everyone to please think about that risk for vulnerable kids and to hold it against the truly insignificant nutritional benefit of going raw. There are lots of ways to help your kids meet their nutritional needs that don't come with that same level of concern. But on that note, I hope that we can keep this respectful in the comments. This is really not meant to shame anyone who has chosen to drink raw milk or even give it to their children. But I would not be doing my job as a science communicator if I didn't at least start to break down some of the misinformation there is out there so that you can make the most informed health choices for you and your family. And on that note, that's all that I have for you guys today. If you like this video, please be sure to give it the thumbs up, leave me a comment below, and check out the link below to order my brand new 2-in-1 plant-based probiotic protein powder that is completely dairy-free. No milk to be found. And I'll see you next time on Abby's Kitchen. Bye!